Unit 2, Learning Target Number 11, Divide Multi-Digit Decimal Numbers. We've done division with multi-digit whole numbers. Now let's do division with multi-digit decimal numbers. We'll follow these 3 steps and this should get us through it. Number 1, we're going to set up the problem. So obviously we'll take 32 and divide that into 752.80. And we'll leave a little room at the end just in case. Next, we're going to remember that decimal points float. And what that means is, if we have our decimal point here, it's going to come up to the top right here when we get there. So we'll remember that this decimal point is going to float right up. And then we'll do the rest of it just as if we did regular long division. So how many times does 32 go into 75? Remember, we're going to do dad, mom, sister, brother, or divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. So 32 goes into 75 2 times. That's our division. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we need to do subtraction of these two numbers. 5 minus 4 is 1. 7 minus 6 is also 1. Then we move to the 4th step and we bring down our 2. How many times does 32 go into 112? Let's try 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And we'll do our subtraction. Can't get 6 out of 2, so we have to borrow 1. That makes that a 0, and this a 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. We have to borrow another one from this one. That gives us 10. We have 16. Then we bring down our 8. How many times does 32 go into 168? About 5 times. And remember, our decimal point floats, so we bring our decimal point up. This goes into this maybe 5 times. Let's try it. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15, and we carry our 1. We subtract those, and 168 minus 160 is just 8. And we bring down another 0 here. 32 goes into 80 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. And do our subtraction. Can't get 4 from 0, so we borrow 1 from here, making that 7. And this 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. And we've got 16. Now we don't have any more numbers here, but we can always bring down a 0. So we'll add a 0 here, and we'll bring that down. And that leaves us with 160. And that's pretty close to 5 times. So 5 times 2 is 10. We'll carry our 1. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. And that is the end. So our answer is 23.525. What do we do, though, if we have decimal points on both sides? Let's set up our problem like we did last time. 70.32 divided by 0.08. Now, how are we even going to begin here? Well, one thing we're going to do is we're going to move our decimal point. We'll need to move our decimal point over to the right. Now, why does that work? The fact is, we definitely can. We can move our decimal point over here, like this, for this one, but we also then have to move it over here for this one, giving us 8 into 7,032. But why does that work? Well, what we're doing is we are multiplying by a factor of 10. In this case, we're multiplying by 100. 0.08 times 100 is 8. 70.32 times 100 is 7,032. So why does that work? Or can we prove that that does work? Yes, we can. For example, we have 1, and we're going to take that into 10. How many times does that go into 10? Well, it goes 10 times. Let's try it if we multiply both by a factor of 10. We'll multiply both of these by 10. How many times does 10 go into 100? We've added a 0 to both of them. Well, 10 goes into 100 10 times. The same thing happens if we take 100 into 1,000. It goes 10 times. So it's just a fact that when we do this, we multiply by 10. It doesn't change our result, which is very helpful. So what we're going to do then is divide and finish our problem. How many times does 8 go into 70? Let's try 8 times, because 8 times 8 is 64. 70 minus 64 is 6, and then we'll bring down our 3. Now, 8 times 8 is 64, so that's a little too large. We'll try 8 times 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Can't get 6 from 3, so we'll add a 1 here and borrow from there. 13 minus 6 is 7. And then we're going to bring down our 2. And how many times does 8 go into 72? 9 times 8 is 72. So multiply those, and our answer is 879. That is the number of times 0.08 goes into 70.32. Once again, let's use what we know to solve a word problem. Cade is making peanut butter cookies to sell at the school bake sale. He buys 70.32 ounces of peanut butter. Each cookie uses 0.08 ounces of peanut butter. How many cookies can Cade make? Once again, we've got this large bunch of peanut butter, 70.32 ounces, and we're dividing that up into little bitty pieces, and each one of these is 0.08. So we're going to be dividing. What we do then is we take it and we set up our problem. 0.08 goes into 70.32. But again, now we have decimals on both sides. So we're going to move it over, and we're going to say 8, and then we'll move this decimal point over 2 times, 1, 2. We'll take that into 7,032. How many times does 8 go into 70? It goes 8 times. That leaves us with 63. Hey, we've seen this problem before. 7 times 8 is 56. We borrow 1 from here. That leaves us with 13. 13 minus 6 is 7. And we bring down our 2. 8 times 9 is 72. And we're done. He can make 879 cookies.